Before I begin this poem, I'll give you some context. I know it's Avurudu and stuff. Don't be alarmed. My poem might start off sounding a little dark and morbid. See, it's about a man who climbs a seven-story building to end his life. Wait, don't worry. But as he goes to each and every floor on his way up, he witnesses the raw sins of society, the very reason why he went to do what he's going to do. And suddenly, that becomes a journey that unexpectedly changes his mind. So, this poem is called The Seven Story Sin. Devaka stared at the seven-story building, a concrete middle finger to the sky, the perfect height for an imperfect man to jump off and die. Ding! Level 1, the elevator opens, the flow of gluttony. The first floor reeked of biryani, bribes, and bloated shame. Here, the OIC, obese, insolent, and corrupt, gorge like eating was a game. There, a council head extorted from a widow's withered hand to stamp a stolen scrap of her own ancestral land. Devaka saw the fattened feast while the famished fainted in pain and felt mercy left the room and morals were indeed down the drain. Until a janitor split his butt packet, small, simple, with little to share, and he learned that even in this hell, there's humanity there. Ding! Level 2, the flow of lust. Behind bolted doors, warnings whispered, don't make a scene. As political predators played Kana, Mutti, cruel and unseen, but the blindfold fell on victims left stripped and bare, their spirits smashed as if consent wasn't even there. Yet the scarred stood standing, refusing to be broken, and Devaka stepped back, something inside him now awoken. Ding! Level 3, the flow of wrath. Devaka was ready to jump, but an angry addict shoved him aside, plunged to the pavement in an ice-fueled suicide. He tried to pawn his wife's ring for a final frenetic hit, selling his soul to the wrath of a pipe he couldn't quit. The junkie's rage screamed like jagged glass in the air. Devaka climbed above to escape the madness there. Ding! Level 4, the flow of greed. Devaka watched elitists making a toast to Sri Lanka's glory while the nation drowned in debt and Nepo babies climbed corporations as blue-collar hands bled. He saw illegally imported cars idle behind high guarded gates. Cricketers lost on the pitch but won at online betting rates. This ivory flow was built on theft and rehearsed smiles. And down below, taxpayers choked on their greedy lies. Ding! Level 5, the flow of envy. Devaka saw envy, dressed in silk robes, speaking with accents, sipping gin at balcony bars, measuring worth of life in likes, ratings, and stars. Friends turned snitchers just to climb above the rest, selling each other's secrets just to look #more blessed. Selling each other's secrets. Here the influencers envied entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs envied the new rich, like the crabs in the same bucket, pulling each other into the same ditch. Ding! Level 6, the elevator opens, the flow of the sloth. All incoming calls, cries, and complaints were consigned to dust and decay as justice yawned for decades, wasting the light of day. Inside, lethargic lawmakers got lap dancers and the loot. Outside, the public languished under the lazy end of the boot. Bureaucrats snored while the oxygen tanks ran dry, ignoring hospital alarms, letting babies die. Devaka saw the sluggish slaughter of the system's slow play and thought, maybe the next floor will help me die in a quicker way. Ding! Level 7, the final flow, the flow of pride. Now Devaka stood where the sky stretched wide and the wind blew its goodbye kiss, and his own pride pushed, promised peace at the bottom of the abyss. But The ledge lost its luster and the drop lost its say, for the sins he had seen below showed him a different way. Brides, broken bodies, boys battling addiction, lies sold as leadership, lives lost to omission, and still they stayed, still they fought, still they bled. So how can he quit while everyone tried instead? He stepped back from the ledge, less pride, more proof. Not weak for wanting to live, but strong enough to choose. Because if you can see the rot and still reach for repair, if you can feel the weight and refuse despair, if you can face the fall and not fall at all, you're not finished, not forgotten, certainly not small. He turned. He took the stairs, step by step, breath by breath, choosing the climb of life over the silence of death.